size as Cash Money?
Of course.
Can I get one of them sweatsuits?
The whole outfit.
Okay, cool.
Opportunity.
I just don't want to get beat up nowhere. I don't want to be at the door saying, "Hey, Cash Money," like, man, you on the book side. You know
down and do this book, besides the fact of it being therapeutic.
Right. You know, it was in my radio career. I had a lot of people that came up to me, and it was always, "How did you get into radio? I want to get into radio." It was more of the entertainment side. Who was the best person you interviewed? Who was the worst?
Right.
How do you do this? How do you do that? I'm going to school for it, so I always had those questions. And then once I got gastric bypass, and just in life, you know, people saying, "Oh, I heard you. You know, I saw you propose to your wife at the Mariah Carey concert. I know you're pregnant." So it was always that kind of thing. Then once I had the gastric bypass, people really started to ask me about my health, their health. Procedure I got, what do I think they should do? Can you call my brother? Can you? So I was fine with going one-on-one with everyone. When I got approached to do the book, I didn't want to do a book. But after, you know, and it didn't take a long time, but just thinking about it, it was more like, okay, well, you know what? Let me write this book because I can't meet everybody in the mall.
Right.
And I can't meet, so it was
can't cater to them all.
If I could talk to the masses, then I'll write the book. And I didn't know what kind of book I was going to write or how I was going to sit down and how it was going to come together. But after just kind of, you know, sitting there, and that gets back to taking the layers off, it was like I got to a point where I wasn't even talking to you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes. I was talking to me. And sometimes I'll go back or somebody say something that's in the book, and I'm like, man, I put that in there? You know, like I got to read the book twice to understand, like, how deep I went. And my story is my story. The only concern that I had is I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers. There's 7 of us. Then, you know, nieces and nephews. But the 7 Alexander children from Ida, that's the ones that I was concerned about. Like, okay, dude, I wrote this book. And this is their story also. Now, I can tell the Power 106 and the radio story. That's mine.
Right.
This is my life story, but now I've included my brothers and sisters. So I didn't even, they knew I was writing a book. But I didn't tell them the book until I was able to hand them a copy of it. And, I mean, just, you know, my mom was the hardest working lady alive. We didn't have a car in the family. She would take the bus to work to her graveyard. We had her up all day and night with being kids. And Mom already eating. Mom, he's hitting me, that kind of stuff. And so the only thing that I really wanted was, when this book was being written and when it came out, that my mom was honored for the hard work that she did. For the 7 kids with no one being on drugs and no one being incarcerated and no, you know, my mom was the best father a person could ask for. I never missed my father. I never said, "Mom, where's Dad?" or, you know, any of that kind of stuff. So I wanted to make sure that when somebody heard that I was homeless, it wasn't because my mom didn't try. You know what I'm saying? Or there was some substance abuse or something crazy that kept her from her responsibilities. Anyone here knows that it's hard to catch up. You know what I'm saying? You slip.
Response from your siblings so far towards the book?
They hated it. No, Blair. No, my family, they loved it, man. Like, my family is very caring and very giving. And we, you know, the house I bought my mom, it's still the family house. You know, that's where we go back and eat Thanksgiving and Christmas and everything. Because when I first got into radio, I was like, I didn't know how long this was going to last. My main thing was, I'm going to buy my mom a house, so we'll always have an address, so no one can come and knock on our door and tell us we got to leave. So we're a tight family. So when they read it, it wasn't like, oh, you know, baby brother, he played us out, or, you know what I'm saying? It was, everything in there was wrapped in love, and it's our story, and they really appreciate what's in those books.
So at this current moment, you know, the atmosphere of, you know, obesity, and, you know, of course you have a lot of hip hop artists or just mainstream personalities, you know, promoting more of a level of eating healthy. You know, do you feel that the book fell right on time?
Yeah, and you know what, I love it. Looking at, like, Lil C's working out, what he's doing, looking like a muscle beast. Fat Joe dropping 100 pounds, and telling people about his lifestyle and, you know, how he's on more greens and salads and everything.
Right.
Because we as, you know, black men, the hip-hop community, whatever you want to put it as, we spend so much time telling you to make it rain and throw your money in the air and do all this stuff, which, you know, if that's you, that's you. But now I see cats kind of saying, you know, I'm in the gym or I'm working out.
Right.
Some of these cats were doing that, but you just didn't hear it. Jay-Z is a hell of a boxer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, he wasn't like, hey, I'm in the gym for 4 hours, so on and so forth. But I think now when you hear these guys speaking about health even more so, not that, oh, it makes it cool, but it kind of, we got to bring that awareness from everywhere.
It's the norm now.
If somebody's looking to the right, we got to come from the left and wake them up with this, because just recently, for whatever health reasons, Patrice O'Neal, the comedian, Heavy D, like we've lost some soldiers, and we're getting used to saying 40s. You know, like, man, like, oh, how old was he? Oh, he was 44.
Right.
Oh, how old was he? Oh, he was 42. How, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's young. And sometimes in our heads and in our community, we think that we've lived so long, and we haven't. When I was 18, 25 was old. 30 was an old man. You know what I'm saying? I'm 42 years of age right now, and I want 42 more. Right. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And we get into this pattern of, you know, we don't think about tomorrow a lot. And I mean, whatever race you want to call it, the black race, human race, whatever. Sometimes we don't think about tomorrow, and nothing is guaranteed. But I kind of want to bet on the side of I'm going to be here. And so when I see people, you know, taking their health a little more serious, not only am I talking to other people, because I'm not speaking from a mountaintop. I don't have the remedy. When I speak, I'm talking to myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm making sure that I put more deposits into what I'm saying as far as my lifestyle. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm a work in progress forever. You know, and I fight every so-called demon and every, you know, every want and need and, you know, that everyone else have. You know, it's just that there's some days where I lay down and I pray, and it sounds crazy. I'm like, God, thank you for steering me away from those cookies. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, I can lay down and like, but then if I have the cookie, I'm not gonna be there like beating myself up either. You know, it's life. It's life. You know, if I want to have something, you know, I got a cake day in February. I'm gonna eat some cake. You know, best believe that. I probably may eat some tomorrow, so I'm probably lying to you guys. And every two, you know, and it sounds, you know, like I'm preaching, but even our younger generation, if they see, you know, I get people all the time say, man, Bigboy, you get it, man, so on and so forth, I can do it, and I'm doing this, or I'm at the gym, and it's not even people that gastric bypass, it's just people that want to take care of themselves and take care of their lives. So even when I see kids now, and some of the things that we're so used to grabbing,
right,
it's life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's some days where you smiling, and there's some days where you like, man, you got your head down.
Right.
So that's just what the book is. It's, you know, getting into radio and how exciting
right,
it is.
okay.
The first guest and meet Michael Jackson and all
right,
that stuff.
right.
And then there's also, we slept in the mall and we were homeless, and, you know, I was big, I was thin.
Right.
You know, so it's a life book. It's not a book where you go to page 17 and it says 3 egg whites in the morning and you follow that up with, you know, it's not the
right,
the weight loss, the diet guru book, because I'm not that guy. I can't write that book. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I can do is daily try to invest in me, and I can't tell you what to do because I'm still going through it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can't give you the blueprint on how to get your life together. All I can do is say, hey man, walk with me.
Right.
You good? Are you taking it now? Oh, I'm just
Fan base on the book game also.
Yeah,
I think
man.
I can make it bigger than what it really is.